Hello, hello. We are back and we are ready for our next race, which isn't a race, but it's just the name of the game. Wave Race Blue Storm by Jim B. So, good luck, Jim.
Hello everyone, welcome to an hour of Wave Race. We'll play through the whole game, still everything unlocked here, locked, and we'll play through all circuits, starting with Exhibition. And we choose our driver. We will use two in this run. The first one is Yota Hayami, known from Wave Race 64, from the previous game in the series, and David Marina, which we will start this run with, and then later switch over. So, when I select David Marina now, and when I select track, press A, then timer starts. So, shall I make a countdown?
2, 1, go!
So you can play a bit around on the loading screen with the water effects. First track is Dolphin Park. We will see this environment only once, so enjoy it as long as it lasts. And I get a turbo from the start. So Wave Race is all about passing buoys. Have to go the path here, and if you make a shortcut, you're obviously a bit faster. You can miss 4 buoys that you can see on the bottom left, with a display for that. And 5 is the maximum, and if we miss a 5th buoy, we will retire, and we don't want to do that. So, skipping this buoy because it's faster. Just a bit of my tricks here. So the other thing in this game is the turbo that you load up. And Marina steers very, very heavy. He's the fastest driver, but steering is not really easy with him. That's also the reason why we won't use him later. Okay, so that was the first track. Exhibition circuit, starting track. Now we go into normal circuit. Maybe some people have seen that already during SGQ this year, where the normal circuit part was run by Pierstrike. And yeah, I'm starting here with Southern Island because Southern Island you can lose a lot of time if you have bad weather. Now we're starting with weather RNG. We can see the weather for the next 3 days, and we can select our track that we want. And I selected Southern Island here now because I want good weather. And I didn't get that shortcut where the game gives you bit to come back into my bit on the rhythm here. First lap is always a bit tricky with all these shortcuts and the short gap that you have to pass there on the ramp. Yeah, the water level changes now, so we can't take the first shortcut anymore. The one chance is over, but we will take another shortcut. Intended one, miss buoys. Go here over the barrier, miss a few more buoys. So yeah, we see a turbo meter on the bottom right. The higher it is, the higher your top speed is. So it's good to keep it up. In the previous game you didn't have a turbo, which you have here. So you can use, when you're filled up, you can use a turbo, but then you have to refill your turbo meter again. And you can fill it up in with passing the buoys on the right way. Or you make tricks. And we have to enter here some letters. Because it's a new save state. Since everything is still locked. And so the game saves every time your lap time, because it's obviously, it should be a good time now. Since I should be used to the game. Wasn't that good for the first track, but yeah, let's see. Continues. Now,
Do we have time for a quick donation?
yeah.
We got a €6 donation from Ghost King saying that Mystery Dungeon Run was great. Shoutouts to Sniper and Sif for keeping that entertaining. Having run the game once myself, I can fondly appreciate someone doing it all in one sitting. Good luck to the rest of the runners. And Jim B, please don't break the disc after this Wave Race run. It's hard to vacuum disc shards up.
Nice reference.
Yeah.
So there's actually one bad thing about doing the tricks. So if you do the trick, you can get knocked off by basically everything. If you hit a wall or hit another player, you will get knocked off and lose a lot of time.
Yeah.
So you need to be really careful about choosing to do a trick to get the boost.
And that was a dive, not the trick. So yeah, there are two kinds of tricks. One that you've seen the most here is holding crouch and the crouching button, and doing back front with your analog stick. And that does that bullet trick where he sits at the front. And if you hold that for some time, you can gain 3 ticks. Steering is a bit harder during that time, so mostly doing on straight. Some corners, like here in Lost Temple Lagoon. I'm calling these tracks by the English name, not by Japanese names, just what we use in the community. Because this is the Japanese version. And we're in Aspen Lake now, which is more or less a remake. Like it also Southern Island came from N64 game. This is really well known for its fog effects on the N64, which Drake Lake or Milky Lake, which is called on the N64. And we try to get jump here every time. It's a bit tricky, especially the landing is very important. Do I get a second tick? No. Okay, used the turbo a bit too early in the previous section. And didn't get the time here. Landing was not very good placed.
Yeah, so it's hard to actually not fly too far off, so you can hit the next stop there properly.
Yeah, jumps for me are the hardest part in this game. Especially here with that slalom. Following rightly behind, you have to land really good.
Also, obviously, jumping too short is also a bad thing because you can hit the bridge.
You can hit the bridge, right?
So you have to be pretty precise.
You can actually get a fog weather that you're used to from the N64 version here. Weather is random in this game, so we have 5 different weather settings that we can get. We see a forecast for the next 3 races, so we can actually choose per race if we want not the weather for that, but instead something different order. So you can a bit influence the RNG here. And now we get rain in Ocean City Harbor, which is important for playing here because I won't use the turbo right away. Because the water level changes here depending on the weather. It either goes up with rain, like now, and that will make that ramps will disappear over the course of a race. And since it's raining, I can get over ramp in the first lap. If it would be good weather, it would be completely gone, and I could do only the same in the last lap. So it's the reverse order. Always trying to go around here the ramps, because jumping is slow, except when you do a shortcut like in Aspen Lake, obviously. But flying time is not what you really want. It's very similar to 64 in fact, that part. Taking that corner here tight to the ship, so that we can actually take the waves a bit to our advantage and don't have to fight against them. That's the most hidden time losses that you can have in Wave Race. Even more so in Wave Race 64. When you go with the wave, you're faster. If you go against them, jump them. So now the ramp is completely gone from the start, and I will go around it, and instead has this buoy that we jumped right into. First to left.
Yeah, and as you can see there on the jumps, you lose a huge amount of speed when you jump.
That was actually a lucky jump, because normally when a ramp just looks out of like that with the top. Whoa, Ricky throw us off after the finish line. That's Ricky from 1080 Avalanche, or for 1080 series. I'm not familiar with the series, so I don't know exactly from which type, but 3 of these drivers are from 1080, and 3 are from Raver 64. Yeah, when your ramp looks just barely out of the water, if you hit it, you crash most of the time. But in this case, we had a wave that froze over it, so it was a bit of a lucky one. So Arctic Bay, or Japanese name is Cool Ocean. The weather doesn't make anything with the waves, like in other courses, but here it would change the weather. So you would have a snowstorm if it would be stormy, but not the case here. Actually, I have to do a small back up. And that's the coolest wave in this game for me. When a ice block falls into the water and leads to that big hole. We'll see a bit more often in later variants of this course. Yeah, but this is a remake of Glacier Coast, the ice course from Raver 64. And yeah, this is mostly very straight course. Can talk a bit about turbo strats. There are 2 common turbo strats in this game. You have to load the turbo up, so you can't use it every time. Not turbo strats, but the buoy misses. Since you can miss 4 buoys, that's not 1 for each lap. So you either do 1 for each lap that is really out of the way, like far away. Like we had a few examples already in this run. that we don't go around, or don't want to go around. Or you can do something like in this course, obviously, you miss 2 buoys in the second, in 2 laps. So you also have 4 misses. If you only miss 1 for each lap, then you can miss an additional buoy. So that's the basic strats that we do. So either it's 1 strat for all laps, or you change it.
Yeah, it really depends on the layout of the level.
Yep. Okay, that was normal circuit. First part of the game finished. We will see some celebrations from the drivers, which are a bit different from a Wafer 64. We won all courses, or the winner of the circuit.
That was sweet! You dominated the circuit!
The commentaries are really awesome too.
Yeah, that the commentary is from your crew chief, basically. So it's some friend, or from the in-game story, it's some friend or trainer or uncle in Ricky's
Presenting
part.
the champions of the circuit.
So, yeah,
In third place,
sponsors in Wave Race. One is Fanta, which you can see in the Wave Race 64 version, in the Japanese version, and you can see Dr. Pepper in this version.
Yeah, gonna make some advertisements here.
You can see the advertisements in this game, yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, boys and girls.
With the official Wave Race drinks. So I'm more for the nostalgic one. That's why I choose Fanta. So we continue with the Hato circuit. And for this we choose Ryota Hayami, because his steering is a lot better, and for that he doesn't have the highest top speed. So the steering makes it the run a bit safer here now. A bit more confident with him now. And we have one circuit environment that we'll see later, where Ryota is even the first choice. Always trying to get out of attack here.
turbo's all yours. Great. Excellent.
Okay.
Way to go.
Whoa.
Come on, get back up and get going.
I thought that would make it, but was barely landed on it.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's just a slight too slow.
Yeah, you can also dive, but for the dive I thought I would just hit the ledge there. So I didn't do that. You can bit work with a setup if you don't do the jump the right way. Also the waves here in that part, can you push up to that landing area where you put that bridge that leads over there. Sometimes they can randomly send you into it.
You got it. You got it, turbo. Okay. Way to go.
They are basically the same shortcuts,
Good job.
like in normal.
Okay, you got it, turbo. You took first place. Nice racing.
So we also hear now a different crew chief, because different driver. Every driver has a different commentator. They all have their own style. So that was Sovereign Island right away.
Yeah, let's
Now we
see
got-
some more of that in the next race.
Continue to Lost Temple Lagoon, or in this version called Ethnic Lagoon. So the Japanese version, can we talk a bit about version differences? I chose the Japanese version because I needed some NTSC version,
Be out there, Ryota, but nothing you can't handle.
because the main difference between the NTSC and the PAL version. And unlike in N64 version, where the PAL version was just scaled down from 60 frames per second to 50, so the whole game is slower in the in-game time, but you would have more time for steering in N64. In this game, they kept, it feels like the same speed, but the PAL version actually is faster than NTSC. This also had a change from 60 frames per second to 50 in the PAL, because it wasn't one of these games that have a PAL 60 mode yet at that point, nearly at the start of the launch of the GameCube. That wasn't an option. So it runs with 50 frames per second. The timer runs with 50 frames per second, but with 1/16th of a second. So the times that you get are actually quite lower, because the timer doesn't tick often enough as it should be with a delta time. Or the delta time should be higher. And on top of that is that the game has higher speed for the drivers. So you can, if you just drive straight, we have some comparison videos online that you can watch, where you see that the drivers actually are faster in the PAL version. So the in-game speed is faster, the timer is running that way that you get faster times, so PAL times are a lot faster than you see here. So if you play this game and choose the PAL version, you will get a lot of better times, even if you don't drive that way, in a similar way. So yeah, that's what I wanted the first time I saw the game. I was like, I can beat these times easily. I saw it on speedrun.com, and yeah, it's easy to beat. I beat it here on my PAL version, and then I found out later I wasn't that fast. This was just the game version. So I had to get NTSC version, because it's actually the original version. It doesn't have it. The in-game time here is closer to a real time. It's not 1-1, but at least closer, unlike the PAL version. And NTSC version, just Japanese, is a cheaper way to get it. But you can also play American version.
Nice.
It's just the menus, the track names, and the tutorial has Japanese voiceovers, but everything else is like in English. So yeah, here we have some foggy weather and Aspen Lake, which means that the water level is a bit higher here. Oh.
That looks bad. Are you okay?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. You can hit the bridge.
Yeah, this time I hit it.
That's right. You got it. You just heard the turbo. Okay. That's right. Good. Last lap. It's down.
So yeah, they're also taunting each other. Even sometimes kicking. It's not very friendly, this environment of the Wave Race drivers in this version.
You just heard a turbo.
Really aggressive. Okay, bit.
Ah, but it was close.
Okay, I won't make it to the top anymore.
Good one. Right on. You got it. Good job. You've got a turbo.
There. Time was a bit off there with the boost usage.
Good job, man. That's how to
Don't have that much space on the ramp to actually keep your speed and over it. If you have very sunny weather, you can actually go under the bridge, because the water level is so low that you can go under it. Which also makes the ramp higher, so would prefer then to go under it. But every other weather, the water level is so high that you either jump over it or would go around it. But we still keep the points, because we're still in the lead, and you have to get a certain amount of points to continue, which is, if you play this game casually, can be a problem because this game, from my experience and from what I've heard from other people, it's not that easy casually. And the hard tracks are still coming. Okay, rainy weather here, so we take this shortcut right away. It's still Ocean Harbor here. So we have a lowering water level for the following laps. For the first one here, we could take the ramp. That will disappear slowly in the next 2 laps. I will try to get it in the second lap, but that's a bit luck-based, depending on your wave. And I got a bit moved into that ramp by the wave. That's one of these RNG things that maybe you can see the waves. Whoa. Why was it ramped so low?
It felt like the wave pushed you over it, so you didn't actually jump off.
Yeah. So you can try to get it on the second lap. That's risky. It's not as clear as the first lap. If you move your drive a bit back, you can actually make it over it. I just try to do that. Okay. So yeah, these ramps are also disappeared in the water. So now we have to go around. Didn't want to take my trick back.
If you miss one more buoy, you're out of the race.
Continue like normal.
Good. You've got a turbo.
So what I mentioned is earlier is the crouch button.
All right.
You can.
You just earned a turbo. That's right.
Oh, I have to remember.
You got it.
Just not miss here.
Keep it up.
Nice. Okay. So I'm mashing most of the time the crouch button. It's the same like in Wave 64. The crouch button dampens the effect of the waves, so it makes you faster on a straight line. You sometimes want to stop if you want to take a jump of a wave to get over another one or have a better landing. Like in Southern Island, you have these high waves where you want to go over one and land maybe on the other one, but if you crouch in middle of a jump, you cancel that jump more or less. So you can't don't have to jump that high every time. You can control the jumps in that way. But yeah, the game is most of the time just crouch mashing. It's also in Wave 64. It's really a common thing. They have a C trigger for acceleration and for B for crouching. And you crouch the whole time. Then you just sometimes hold it to make a trick.
Nice. Way to go.
So another Arctic Bay. Unlike in Wave 64 where you have basically the same layout, just the buoys change a bit. In this game, the game leads you to sometimes a whole different part of the environment that the track is in. And in this part, it's actually a reverse version of the normal circuit, which is in Wave 64, the reverse part is its own circuit. It's the last circuit after normal, hard, and expert. It's a bonus circuit. But here, the reverse versions are just mixed into, are just one of the 3 versions that you run through the game. But some tracks you don't see reverse, like Southern Island, which you actually do. And another cool wave, which is like buffers. The steep going wave curve from the ice block. So yeah, we have one of these routes here where we just skip 2 buoys in the second and third lap. always using a boost right away because you lose a lot of speed when you lose your meter and miss a buoy and lose your meter.
Keep it up. Okay.
Trying to go around the ice because that makes it slower.
Just earned a turbo.
That's a bit of a mystery here in this track, how you go actually good over the ice. It's a lot that decides about your lap time. So I jump here over it. Just also stop mashing, so I went further.
Right on.
Go around here and finish the circuit.
You took first place. Nice racing.
Okay, so there is always one new track in every circuit that you get that you can't practice unless you have finished that circuit. So you always have one unknown track before you can actually practice it in time attack. So that game makes it even a bit harder for you in that regard when it just throws at you an unknown track that you couldn't even practice anymore. And Aquamaze or La Razza Canal, bit Venedig-like, is a tight track. It's a hard track. Yeah, let's see. Let's try to get out of the pack here first. It's really... It's one of the hardest tracks in this game, especially.
And it has one of the best music.
Yeah.
Good job. Good one.
I didn't like the music at the start that well, but after I stopped using a commentator and concentrated more on the music, I actually liked it more. And the music is different for every weather that you get, so they have different mixes
You got it.
for every weather environment.
They actually put effort into it.
So we have here long straight where we use the bullet trick to gain earlier turbo.
Okay.
You could put in here a small trick just to get the full meter earlier, so you get higher speed. And this track is for one and the second version, where you don't use Mariner, even though he's the fastest driver in this game. But whoa, okay, that trick was actually a bit too late that he went out of it.
Yeah, this track is actually pretty hard to get in tricks because you can get knocked off easily.
It should have gotten that earlier. It was barely a second or so that I needed to finish that animation, and that threw me off. Okay, I don't get it here. It's just sometimes the wave throw me a bit off here. Yeah, also have to do this trick with back and front, and when you want to take a turn in the same moment and put your analog stick to back and front, that doesn't work together that well.
And you have to do a lot of turns here on this deck.
Yeah. So yeah, we finished earlier.
You got it.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Turbo. That's right.
Like that shortcut, you can also go around it, which the AI did in the first lap, and they overtook them all. Sometimes they also take the shortcut. There are some shortcuts that it don't take, but some are taken by them.
Now that's how it's done. First place.
Okay, that was the hard circuit.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
And during celebrations now, cutscenes we have time. Yeah.
We got a €5 donation from Araya saying, "This one makes me feel like shaving my mustache." Nice one, Jim.
Nicely done. You qualified for the expert circuit.
Good one.
The donations all seem to have the same reference point.
It's no problem if it's a good reference. More ads.
Presenting the Circuit Champions.
There's some celebration here. As I said, the characters are celebrating all on their own here, and that's a bit of a different feeling in this game that in Wafer 64, where the third place is clapping hands to the winner, looking to it, and the second place is shaking hands with the winner, congratulating him. And here everyone is like, yeah, I'm here, I'm first place.
I did something.
They're all more or less on their own, and you have the feeling that it's kind of the same thing coming from all the kicking during the race. Now we do a small bonus here. Small cheat code. We activate the bonus commentator. Whoops. For the last part of a run. And
Chosen poorly.
He's so chill.
he says it right away what his mood is. He's not that in a good mood. Hey, or he doesn't like us, or he's just bored.
Something like that.
Hey kid, you ever need a friend? Buy a dog.
Yeah. That's what we get now. During our races.
Is that the best you could do? Turbo time.
He's pretty tired of your racing.
Waste of time.
And we have cat noises.
Tired of you. You're wasting my time. Turbo is wasted on you. Call that a pass. I grow tired of you. Have a lot of good at turbo with
Whoop.
you. Weak. Forget it. Turbo is wasted on you.
I really love his pronunciation.
So yeah, I
It's awesome.
hope you can hear that. That we're a bit silent there.
3 seconds ahead. Have a lot of good
Sure.
at turbo will do you.
Get a bit of it. So here is a bit of a turbo strat.
Weak.
Just
No quarter.
go around that slalom. That costs a lot of time. And turbos are actually important to you. For timing is important. Here you use it. You always want to use it right before a buoy or a group of buoys where you can instant refill your boost meter. But I take him here a bit earlier because the gap is a bit small. Because the steering during a turbo is harder. It doesn't steer that good anymore. Info Jota has a bit of steering here. So that's when you basically use a turbo, you always want to use a part where you just want to pass something fast, or you can refill it really fast, because then you don't lose that much speed if you can refill it during the boost usage. So yeah, Southern Island out of the way. Also, actually the easiest variant. It just in expert circuit they make the cursors a bit bigger, they're longer most of the time, and Southern Island becomes a bit of it isn't that difficulty anymore. It's not that first lap where you have to get that shortcut and then another small gap river ramp.
If I say anything to offend you, please let me know. I might want to do it again.
Very nice.
Yeah. He's the best.
You're wasting my
Okay,
time.
OSM.
Forget it.
The pack is bad because you still have good anymore.
Call that a pass. Super.
Okay,
The turbo is wasted.
not using a turbo here because that wave section threw me off too many times.
Get it.
If you look closely to the buoys, you can actually read a sign that says right and left Chinese.
Pathetic.
Chinese characters there.
Adequate. You're about 2 seconds ahead. Red buoys. Go on the right. Super.
so slow jump, but we can't really go around it. Bit out of line here. These waves are really annoying. When they come from the side, it's side waves are always a problem. In my opinion. Okay. Fill the boost faster here.
Keep missing buoys and you won't win races. You're about 4 seconds ahead. Super! You're wasting my time. Pat, what a good a turbo will do you. Adequate. Excellent. Weak. No
And
mercy.
in this section you have the wave against you, so
That's what I love the most. Ooh, a turbo. That's great.
Your wings are like diamonds, kid. Very rare.
all these new records. Might say something.
Luck is a poor substitute for talent.
He's such a nice guy.
Might be true, actually.
Bobby.
Does it mean we're lucky here? I mean, the weather pattern is better in a new file, from my feeling. If you start a game...
Well, it's not a Pokemon speedrun, so.
Yeah, but I had was in a marathon where I only got rainy and stormy weather.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
true. Like,
repeated itself.
there is quite some portion of RNG here.
Hardest track here for Aspen Lake, where you have many rocks here around you. Don't kick Yoda.
Yeah, it's getting really annoying with all the rocks and the people knocking you around.
The kicking animation is not something I do, so that's just the driver. Oh, yeah. Ricky.
Yeah, and when something like that happens, like, it just completely screw you over.
Then I couldn't steer in here. Nigel, what are you doing? Okay, I have to do that skip later, because it's one of these 2 misses per lap. And I would like to pass. Come on. Yeah, I can. Show him. Okay, go around now. Because you also can take a hit of jump. Okay, shortcut. I've seen that rock section there. They would have done that actually twice, but I missed the buoy already because of Nigel.
What a guy.
So that wasn't an option anymore.
You know why you never go on vacation? You're always on an ego trip.
Yeah, saving is really annoying in this game. It's every time you have a good new record, best free lap, best free time in the game, you save, and that costs you 7-8 seconds.
I'll find a way of ignoring you.
Even if you have entered your name already and it comes just straight down. It just takes time, and so we decided for the shorter categories that we time actually the in-game time, so we manually add up our times and then compare it. Because when you on the run on your life and you do a really, really, really good lap, you might actually end up with a slower in-game real time because you had to save. In this category, we said that we start with a new file because we have to unlock everything anyway. So it saves after every course. but since everyone has to save every time, it's comparable. Okay, good. High water level is here good because then we don't have to see so much from the land there.
Adequate. Try not to
Nice.
damage the ski. You're about 5 seconds ahead. Turbo or two. Pathetic. Waste of time. Oh, a turbo!
So yeah, Fat Bui obviously override there is not in the best line. Let's skip that. Would like to go up. The ramps are also really slow, but they are really wide to the side, so no way around that. Yeah. That was a wave, so I waited with the turbo a bit later.
You're about 5
So that
seconds ahead.
brings me a bit one tick behind. Oh,
Adequate. Super.
just take it like that. So yeah, go around this ramp because it's slow.
Call that a pass.
But the rest is just so big in the way.
Win races.
Take it.
Excellent. Pathetic. No
These
quarter.
side waves here.
Turbo. I grow tired of you.
Now he did the other trick. So that was actually the trick where you do a circle, start at the top and go around 360. So in regards of the tricks, it's a bit of a like a fighting game where you want to do your combos or moves, and here you have to use your trick just on the right of time. And when I do back front, sometimes it registers I'm going around the circle, which is actually a bit easier to do the circle trick, but the animation is longer, so we prefer obviously the bullet. So you're faster in the trick animation and out of it.
If I say anything to offend you, please let me know. I might want to do it again.
And the steering for the bullet trick is also faster, better.
Is that the best you can do? Pathetic.
Okay, everyone jumps around us. So it seems familiar to the normal circuit, but no. We take our way with the ice cave. Now,
Tangents.
whoa, okay. That dive is really hard to get sometimes.
Yeah, you can easily fail that, and if you get knocked over there, you need to go around.
Yeah. It's the same thing with all these ramps. When you just hit a wave that throws you into the ramp, then you lose your speed, and then you're not fast enough to dive enough, and you don't come around it. And to get that consistently, tried a bit around with getting higher speed, so having more a full meter of that. The pensions have done the trick here. Okay, that was a really wide one. So far, used my turbo a bit too late, so I won't skip this one. Can I have a turbo here? Always trying to avoid this ice, because you're faster on water. Because jet skis are actually only made for water and don't steer really well when they're on land, or when you don't hit the acceleration. If it don't have speed, you can't turn really. That's why when you crash and have to turn around a bit. Really? That looked good. Game.
Yes.
Can we debate that?
Yeah, but you have to go.
Okay, we see this cool corner that we normally have to skip. But it's a cool ramp, but you can't actually do really, but go around well. But yeah, I thought I had that dive, but yeah. Got stuck in
It was really close, I guess. It looked good.
That's what I meant. It feels the same. Sometimes it's further ahead. Sometimes you notice, okay, now I lost really speed, but that wasn't, in my mind, what I saw, that I lost so much speed. Okay, so now we are back in the street circuit in Loretto Canal.
Luck is a poor substitute for talent.
He's repeating himself. He has a few sentences that.
A few good ones, though, so that's fine. Makes up for that.
So this track is the one I spent a lot of time lately.
If I say anything to offend you, please let me know. I might want to do it again.
Oh. Okay, I have to get out of a pack first. They destroyed the boats already. There are some boats. But the AI is actually helping you in this circuit mode with destroying the cafe, the tables there, and the boats that are in the way that slow you down. So you can see tight corners. Blind corners. Sideways. And a shortcut. Whoop. Almost did for side roll. Do extra tricks because there's enough space here so we can do it easily. Got it turbo early. No boats here. I'm not used to that. AI is destroying it. The water level is a bit low here, so we see a lot of borders here. Very high. And you have to go a longer way over that cafe to go. So we prefer in individual levels in time attack rainy weather or cloudy. Well, I thought that I would have crashed that into two, but no.
Easy.
Bit wide, I didn't get a corner here. Whoop.
Okay. Not a full knockoff, so that's fine.
But I can't take the corner here anymore because I lost all my speed. So I'm using a lot of LR trigger here to lean to the side. It's a bit extended the controls from N64 where you don't have LR. Okay. Good last lap.
Nice.
We have some official Nintendo times from the Japanese strategy guide, and Nintendo's time here is 2:33. A lot of time are competitive, or halfway competitive to what we had this year, but 2:33 in this course is like, what did they do? I mean, I crashed once.
This is the end of the road.
One more race.
Yeah. Like, they don't know the strats for their own game.
And as always, at the end of a circuit, we have a new track, new environment. Scottish. Sounds Scottish.
It's time to end this.
With sheep.
I'd rather have cows, but sheep are fine too.
Over there. So yeah, we have a castle here. This track is actually for what came before Loretto Canal. It's really easy. You can add a lot of tricks here that make this part of a section with Marina harder, but that's how else. This game has two shortcuts. One will the AI take, which is... Okay, got... Now the gate here opens and you can go through the castle, but going through the castle is a really tight slalom. Whoa. Did it hit the window? So the AI jumped out of the castle, but yeah. It's not really fast because you come just from the right, so it's not really in the line. and so we don't take a shortcut. The shortcut is actually slower here than the way around when you use boosts. It's only faster if you don't use a boost. You can't use a boost in the castle, it's just too tight. A second shortcut is also here, but that is completely useless. So time is when I crush the finish line. Very short notice. So time. Yeah, this was Wave Race Blue Storm. Shoutouts to the community, which also helped making the leaderboards really good looking from a wave. We had some people in white from Wave Race 64 to help us with that. Looked a bit different start of this year. One last word.
You must get up early. How else can you make so many
Yeah, was a good run.
in one day?
Really enjoyed it too.
We got up early, yeah. Yeah, so shout out to everyone who helped. Goonmister, Model, really good runner, Androgene, Apnea, Dr. Fish, all the other mods. You can visit on speedrun.com. We have a Discord, which is basically the Wave Race 64 Discord, but it was extended slightly, slowly, to also involve now Wave Race Blue Storm and Wave Race the Game Boy game, so 3 parts in the series. We don't have any newer title for 17 years now, so Nintendo, if you hear that, we really would like a new title for the series.
Wave Race for Switch incoming.
Maybe some people would prefer more in the 64 direction, but this game is really a lot different from the 64 part, which you mentioned a few times. Did I forget one? So yeah, join, look in our leaderboards. We have a lot of really good times now. A few are still developed, getting faster and faster. There are always found new tricks to do. It gets harder and harder to get a world record. It's really, if someone finds a trick, an additional trick to do on a track, it's 1 second faster. So it's for jump, it's really it's far. It's not like Wave Race 64 where you just cleanly take a corner and save a few fractions of a second. It's more of a boost or additional boost here, and that always goes risky because a boost can throw you off. So yeah, thank you BSG for having this game, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, Jim, for that interesting and really fast-paced run. I really enjoyed it. Next up, we got WizBoy73 with Fury. But first, we will play some ads, so please stay tuned.